station, and today they took an entire video of it, a whole picture of it. Usually we just get the tweet. However, celebrating another mode of transport that is helping so many Kenyans, especially those who hail in Ruiru, to actually be able to move. That is a train. Thank you for the video. That is a tweet by Outer Ring Road KE. Yani mlijituma sana kwa mambo ya train. Mlijituma. And all the respect to you guys for what you do. So far, it should be at Mutindwa stage at exactly 5 minutes into the hour, sometimes 6 minutes past 7 or 7 minutes past 7 a.m. So if you want to catch that train, I must remind you, kama leo imekupita, kesho, be at the Mutindwa market stage at exactly 7:05 a.m. Now utapata your train hapo. Now just to remind you, it's a commuter train from Ruiru. It goes through the Mutindwa market stage and it always is there by 7:05, earliest 7:07 thereabout, latest. All right, so catch it tomorrow if you missed it today. Now the construction track rule, the road with no courtesy, of course, that's still people talking about, the construction and observations. Do it always. I'll come back to that shortly. There was an accident earlier on, not too earlier on, just a few minutes ago at Wayaki Way at Regen, heading towards Uthiru. A rider was hit by a shuttle. 3 people presumed, or rather assumed, dead. I need to get clarity on that particular tweet. However, that accident along Wayaki Way is quite a disheartening way to start or begin your mornings. I don't know what to say, but guys, can we work on this accident early mornings? Not a day has passed, without me highlighting an accident early morning. And I want to call out on, the traffic police. At what time are you guys on the roads? At what point and at what time do you report on duty? I have used roads and I hardly see the police on the roads. This is my opinion. All right, perhaps we just don't know where you are at within the CBD and on these particular roads. Do our CCTV cameras work on the roads as well? Kenyans, can we change the culture, mindset, and just be responsible, cops or no cops? We need to reduce the accidents. At Kimende, limited visibility, put on the lights, slow down, safe journey. Thank you very much. At Larindiwa for that tweet. Put emphasis that it could be foggy, could be slippery, could be misty. Always, the experts have said, you don't put on your fog lights because you can't see. You ought to be seen. I'll bring in experts again to train us over and over, but ensure that if you are in a road right now, the weather has changed, it's the month of June. If it's misty and there is fog where you are at, the tunnel vision is narrower. If it's narrower for you, it's narrower for the person, the oncoming vehicle. Be disciplined and switch on those lights. All right, pardon me. Now let's see, any other roads? Wayaki Way, hakuna jam, ni moja kwa moja hadi Menti House. Arosoro KE, mbona sikuamini. All right, if it is as good as that, thank you very much. That actually shows that the accident was handled properly and in good time. All right, so Wayaki Way, hakuna jam as far as this tweet is concerned, about 30 minutes ago. Anything can happen on these roads, so don't trust it entirely that it is clear. I'll check on Kenyan traffic right now to see if Wayaki Way is still as clear as it was a few minutes ago. Mombasa is sliding smoothly. Enjoy it before the usual traffic is back in minutes. And that was 30 minutes ago. How is Mombasa Road right now? I'd love to hear from you guys. Mombasa Road imeanza kwa bumper to bumper ama kumeenda vipi? But so far, most of the roads look newer today. Massive fog. Like I said, thank you, Josiah_KE, for highlighting this. Saying massive fog from Limuru to Naivasha on the Nakuru-Nairobi highway. Visibility about 20 meters. Overturned pickup at flyover area after the junction to thicker towards Naivasha. Again, fog. Have your lights on, guys. And the tunnel vision is narrower. Visibility is almost, I don't even know what to say. If you're behind the wheels, you know what you need to do. And please do not overspeed. I cannot say that enough. Do not overspeed. Drivers, we're seeing accidents every morning. And what if cycling is an option? If you cannot see the other vehicle, can you see the cyclist? All right, are our roads safe? Are they convenient? Because if there's traffic every single morning, we're trying to find out alternative ways to actually help your traffic. Tufike job mapema, do we all need to put food on the table? Kwanza sahii mafuta yamepanda. Watu wana hustle ko hustle. It's always hustle and bustle. Could the cycling be an option? Let's find out today from my guest, and I just want to switch into the conversation, hoping I can just turn like that. I made it. How are you?
I'm very fine.
I am excited. I saw you cycling. I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait to see that bike in studio.
Thank you for having me.
This is an amazing, amazing conversation. Please introduce yourself to the viewer.
Yes.
You know, your name, in what capacity you're here. It could be exciting to also give a shout out and say good morning to somebody who has just woken up early to understand what you're doing. Karibu.
My name is Geoffrey Serumba. I'm the proprietor of Green Mobility Solutions. We are a startup dealing with innovative micro-mobility solutions within the city.
Amazing. Within a city, you do know our city problems when it comes to the environment. So I think we are looking forward to understanding.
Yes.
First, let's just start from there. What actually inspired this initiative?
Well, the cost of fuel. The cost of fuel was my motivation. So back in the last year, towards August, I think that's when we had the highest spike of fuel prices. So that's when I got my first bike for myself.
Okay.
So being a marketer, I was being stopped around everywhere I go. Hey, what is that? What can it do? Does it use fuel? So then that's when I saw an opportunity to start a business line on e-bikes. Yes.
I like that. I actually like the word e-bikes.
Yes.
I didn't even think of it that way, but now let's talk about the e-bike now.
Yes.
Before we even give, you know, the illustration right here,
Yes.
just tell me what makes it unique really. How is it different?
Well, an e-bike is like your ordinary bike, but it has a battery and a motor.
Interesting.
Yes. So with the motor is able to power you that you don't need to cycle.
Huh.
You can see the way I came, I've not even sweat a bit. I was just on the motorized mode.
You cycled here?
Yes, I cycled here.
No way.
I did. And
I wish I would ask you how far. Okay, let's talk about kilometers. Let's just see.
It was 18 kilometers. 18 kilometers took me an average of 40 minutes to be here.
No sweat. But I think it's because the weather is friendly.
No,
but what you're trying to say is you use less energy on this kind of bike.
Yes.
Please come again for the sake of anyone else who's just joining us. You said something makes it different, and there's compartments of it that you don't find it anywhere.
95% of this bike is like your ordinary bike, but it has a battery and a motor. That's what makes it difference.
Okay.
The motor gives you an extra boost when you don't want to cycle. Yes, if I can be able to demonstrate.
I will get to that.
Yes.
We'll get to that.
Yes.
I want to also find out when you do this, like when you came here, I want to know how convenient it was for you. I'm looking at the size of your bike.
Yes.
Looking at how far you cycled here.
Yes.
And we've always talked about road safety, convenience on the roads, because you can come up with something like this fine,
yes.
but is it safe for me to, be on the roads? How did you feel on your journey here?
I've used it for quite some time, and I need to commend the Nairobi City County. There are some roads within Nairobi which are safe to cycle.
Some roads?
Yes, some roads, not all.
Could you mention a few? Because
Yes,
I know a lot of people who've been coming around and they want to be more into the cycling, but they've always wanted to they're always just afraid. Everyone's just pretty skeptical about the roads.
Within Ngong Road, there's designated cycling
Everyone
lanes.
says Ngong Road.
Within some bit of Langata Road, there's some designated cycling lanes.
Okay.
Within the bypass, there's a lane which is safer for cyclists.
Which bypass?
Southern bypass.
Okay.
Southern bypass, yeah.
How many roads do we have in this country, but you can only pick 3?
Well, there's a lot of initiative which is done by Nairobi City County, the NMS. There's a designated 150 kilometers for cyclists. I think more awareness needs to be created on these designated lanes to make it more people know about it. But there's about 150 kilometers of roads which have been just designated for cyclists.
Amazing. I can't wait to see that happen.
Yes.
Years and years down the line, I can't wait to see that happen. So I know Kura Roads, you're watching NTSA as well, the government of Kenya. Everyone hopes that these things actually take shape. Now, World Environment Day was just yesterday.
Yes.
And what you're doing really here is to save the environment in your own way. Do you want to, you know, make any remarks in regards to what you're doing and the environment, now that it's G as well?
Well, I'll start with the cost initiative. Being a third world, we are more on the cost part, and we know the biggest pollutant in developed countries is our transport system.
I agree.
Yes, so on the cost aspect, considering I use 36 kilometers on daily basis, 36 kilometers, if you're using a car, that will cost you 6 to 8 liters. 6 to 8 liters, that's approximately 1,200 shillings per day.
Okay.
And using an electric bike, which has zero emissions for that fact, I've been able to save that amount, and the time it takes me on traffic. With a bike, I'm able to maneuver around. There's a lot of awareness that guys should share the roads, and they should give cyclists 1.5 meters. Whenever you see a cyclist, there's a lot of awareness being created around this. Give a cyclist 1.5 meters. So the time it takes for me to be here, if I was using my car, probably I'd still be stuck in traffic. So that is the biggest aspect. But the cost aspect, with the skyrocketing fuel prices, that is the biggest win.
Okay.
Yes.
I like when you say that's the biggest win. I'm actually, you know, when we were reviewing the papers today, an aspect of health came out.
Yes.
And a hungry nation is pretty much a dying nation. We cannot battle diseases, really, if we are even still fighting for proper food. So, I mean, I remember my co was saying, now you can afford unhealthy food more than you can afford healthy food. How is this coming through for the health sector?
There's this bit of inactivity. If we look at the level of probably obesity, some of us call it corporate bodies.
Okay, corporate bodies.
So guys are inactive in one way or the other. You find that we have a lot of health conditions like obesity staring at us. So when you have a solution like this, like a bike, this bike has 3 modes. I can put it on manual mode, and on my way back home, I can get some bit of exercise. So you see the level in activity, and when we're talking about health, I'm able to now get that extra workout. Yes.
So I like that you're making the clarity that it just doesn't make it easy always. You can actually go manual and cycle on it.
Yes, you can.
You just need a little push, then you go to the mode that gives you that.
Yes.
So that also deals with the fatigue, because you know we have had accidents out of fatigue.
Yes, with the e-bike, the 3 modes. The first mode is fully electric, the one that I use in the morning while coming here. Great. That one is when I don't want to sweat and I want to save time. It can go up to a speed of 35 kilometers per hour.
Nice.
That's a comfortable speed.
Okay.
Then there's this other mode which is called pedal assist mode. This one keeps you active, but it gives you the battery and the motor gives you a boost. So you just cycle like a normal bike, but you don't use as much effort as the ordinary bike. Okay. Then there's the manual option. The manual option is that you just ride it as a normal bike. Then this one, being a bit heavier than the kawaida bike, you use extra energy. So you're getting in some bit of exercise.
Oh, I'm looking at how I can switch these modes. It's like, I'm sorry, but am I confusing that with gears? Could I relate it to gears?
Yes,
Depending on when I want to go up a hill, I have this particular mode to help me go up.
Yes, once you turn it on, if you can see from down there, it has a key. I'll be demonstrating.
We'll zoom some of those things for you guys, so don't worry. Just keep asking your questions live on Facebook. We will go closer to the bike, and we'll show you where the key is at. Yes. We'll show you the buttons. We'll show you the switch. So don't worry about it at all. Just talk to us at Lookup TV, and you will also answer. Because I know I have questions on how far that, how do you call it? The handles are.
The stem, yes.
Yeah, the stem.
It's called the stem, yes.
Short people like me might have questions.
It's adjustable. Okay. It's adjustable to your height. Yes, so depending on your height, you can be able to adjust the stem and the saddle.
How common is this bike?
Well, I've been in the market since December.
Yes.
I've seen 2 or 3 competitors who are probably companies, not Kenyan companies, but at the moment, the uptake is good. The kind of clients that I'm dealing with, as you have seen, there are a lot of delivery companies, guys who are delivering food from point A to point B. You see guys with the bags on their back. So with an electric bike, you're able to do more deliveries. So there's an opportunity that it has created some new job creation models in which if you get an e-bike, instead of doing 6 deliveries with your kawaida bike, you can do 12 deliveries, double.
This is very interesting. You know, I feel like I want to use this word, and please do not hold me accountable. It's like a two wheels, you know, people in the two wheels revolution. I don't know, you guys are coming out really fast. I had a cyclist here yesterday as well.
Yes.
And I'm looking at, do you also engage in mass, you know, mass cycling? Like I know there's critical mass.
Yes. I'm a participant. I've attended like 2 or 3 this year.
Do you go with this?
Yes, I go with this. My main aim is just to create the awareness around alternative cycling transport modes.
Okay.
Being the vision of our company is to introduce innovative micromobility solutions.
Micromobility,
yes,
okay.
where we want guys to go green. Cycling is good, but if I don't want to sweat and I'm pressed of time, I can use this.
Okay.
If I'm a bit elderly, where I cannot be able to cycle,
absolutely,
as a young guy, I can use an electric bike.
Amazing.
If I have an injury or something that has happened to my body, I can use an e-bike.
When we saw you outside,
yes,
I don't remember clearly, but maybe the viewer did see you, and I don't know if we can take that again, I'm not sure. Were you on, which mode were you at?
I was on fully electric.
So you were not, you were not using your ped, you were not?
No, I was just using it for balance, but I was on fully electric mode.
Amazing.
Yes. So
I want to challenge you though. Can I ask you something you probably did not foresee me asking?
Yes.
It's either you are not in your gears or you have left them outside. The only thing I see is your helmet, and I want to understand why, because it's safety at the end of the day.
Yes.
Do you not wear your gears when you are on electric bike?
Well, you need to put on an helmet and a reflector jacket so that you can alert other cyclists or motorists so they can be able to see you when you're cycling. But the best thing to have is your own personal safety gear. The helmet is the critical part.
I don't know what the viewer thinks right now.
Before I leave the house or with an e-bike, I must make sure I have the helmet. I have an helmet on.
So whatever happens, never leave the helmet.
Never leave the helmet.
This bike is black.
Yes.
I'm imagining somebody on the road at 6 a.m., 5:30 a.m.
Yes.
Sorry to say, but in your kind of outfit, probably rushing to work.
Yes.
Wouldn't you want to say more on safety, really? Because we don't want to assume just because you're on an electric bike.
An electric bike, the beauty is I have a light, and I have reflector at the back.
I am so tempted to just stand and, you know, get you to just, I don't know what we ought to do, but we're trying to get closer to illustrating the bike, so now we can understand it better. Remember, they are going green. The entire country is going green, trying to save the environment. Emissions have come from vehicles. We have, you know, unroadworthy vehicles.
Yes.
We have traffic issues, fuel issues, day in, day out. What if cycling is an option? That's what we're talking about right now. But this is new to most Kenyans and in the market. And I know you have a lot of questions. So we're going to be going step by step in explaining parts of this vehicle. Did I call it a vehicle? Parts of this bike.
This bike, yeah.
It's easy to actually confuse it with a vehicle. So I'm going to allow you to stand. I don't know if it's going to be okay for me to sit and just follow.
Yes.
So you can walk us through that.
Okay.
All right. So first the stem, like you called it, and how it can be adjusted. I see something looks like a screen up there.
Yes, this is my odometer. I can be able to see the speed in which I'm cycling at, and I can be able to see which gear I'm using. I
mentioned gears earlier, so it does have gears.
It does.
So I think that position is just fine. You can do the illustrations from there.
Yes.
So guys, be keen on this, and let's just walk this journey together. Remember, it is an e-bike. Before we find out the affordability, let's just understand how it works. And if you've wanted to cycle, follow closely and ask your questions in the comment section. And Geoffrey here is willing to educate us. So let's do this.
Okay. Before I start it on, I just want to break it apart. It's a foldable model.
Foldable?
Yes. So this is the stem. If you are vertically challenged, you can adjust it to.
You mean shorts, like myself?
No, to be politically correct.
Okay.
Yes. So you can adjust it to your preferred height.
Nice.
This is the saddle. You can also do the same to the saddle.
Nice.
Then I want to break it apart. I want to show the viewers the battery.
Okay, please.
So.
Oh my goodness. This is very interesting.
So this is the key for the motor.
So that's the battery?
That's the battery. So one thing I want to tell the viewers about this electric bike, for this battery to be fully charged, it will take 4 hours.
Only?
Yes. And if you are on domestic consumption, 1 kilowatt hour is probably 20 to 30 shillings. This battery, for it to be fully charged, it will be 0.6. It will take 0.6 kilowatt hour. That one, meaning that it will cost you approximately 20 to 25 shillings to have this fully charged.
Amazing.
And that single charge can be able to take you 60 to 110 kilometers. 60 kilometers is when you are on fully electric. 110 kilometers is when you are doing pedal assist. That means you are kicking it to conserve the battery.
Which was the second mode, right?
Yes, which was
amazing.
The second, yes.
So this is actually workable. All right, guys. So apparently the word foldable, is it?
Yes.
So he's actually, oh my goodness, this is good.
So I'm just...
So you can have it in your car?
Yes, yes. It can fit in a saloon car.
Amazing. Quite convenient, guys. You can drive half the way and cycle where you feel is convenient. Let's see more of this. There you go. So that's all right.
So if you want to press to turn it on, it has this model.
Okay.
This is on. Then these are the gears.
Those are the gears. So the gears are right on. Do I call
top.
them the handle?
Yes, right on top of the handle for ease of access. Then I put the gear that I want. Then I want to show you something.
Please do.
This is the throttle. Once you turn the throttle on,
yes,
the rear wheel, which has the motor, will give you now the boost that you need to do.
All right, guys, let's see that practically right now. Oh, there we go. All right, I feel like I should move away from that. So, can you see that? Okay, all right, okay. All right, there you go, there you go.
So I can be able to increase the speed depending on the gear in which I prefer.
We're practically understanding the e-bike right now. So he pressed that, and this is the kind of boost you get.
Yes, that's the boost.
Practically.
Practically.
Is this the first mode, second mode?
This is the fully electric mode.
This is the fully electric mode.
Yes, this is where I've held down the throttle.
So you have to consistently hold it?
Yes, yes, if you want to be on fully electric.
Amazing.
Yes. So the other mode is the pedal assist mode, where I just cycle like a normal bike, but the motor is on.
All right.
So when I cycle, it gives me an 80% boost. You can look at the speed.
Amazing.
Yes.
So now I don't have to press on
the throttle. On
the
throttle.
It's just...
This mode gives you extra power.
Okay.
And it can go for longer. When you go on full throttle, you deplete the battery quite fast. But when you do the pedal assist, you conserve the battery.
So you have options also for conserving your battery.
Yes.
It depends on, we were here talking about cycling and touring on your bike. This could be a good model to tour.
Yes, for leisure cyclists, this one will be a preferred mode for leisure cyclists.
Okay.
If I want to go to Naivasha, I want to see a very steep hill, I can use this.
Could I ask you something?
Yes,
we're looking at safety.
Yes.
As much as I'm on a car or in a car, I need to know this can happen. I need to check my oil. I need to check. How do I ensure maintenance for this kind of bike?
Maintenance is like an ordinary bike. You just need to oil it and check on your brake pads every day before you leave. Check your brake pads. This one has a disc brake. It's on this other side.
You can move it forward. Okay, all right.
If you can, this is the disc brake. You check on your brake pads and check whether you have oiled the chain. Just
like any other bike?
Yes, just like an ordinary bike.
Okay.
Then the other thing, the beauty of the electric bike is that you see this Kawaida bike, most of them have whistles.
Yes.
So you might think it's an amapiano tour for them to get
I'm sorry, he said something.
It was on a lighter note. But for this one, it has a horn, which is quite loud, if I may.
Can I find out first if it's okay? Are you guys in the studio ready for that noise? All right, I guess the viewer is as well. Please, disclaimer, it's just what they have to do for safety. Let's hear it. Amazing, amazing.
Then the lights.
Okay. Excuse me. So what I picked with the other Kawaida, cyclists is they have it somewhere at the back.
Yes.
And it flickers.
It flickers.
So you have this at the front.
At the front, but I have a reflector at the back.
Okay.
So if you're following me, I have this reflector that if any motorist is behind me, they can be able to see me.
You see, first you have really, you've shown us a lot of developments,
yes.
When you compare with the previous bikes. But indicating, you still have to use the gestures.
Yes, I need to use the gestures.
All right, I'm going to give you guys a minute. to a case, just get a lot of that analysis. I grab some water. Just give them more illustrations as we go by. What if you were to sell it to someone? What do we need to know? Shortly, as I step out and get more emphasis from Geoffrey.
Okay.
Geoffrey, remember to talk to the illustration. This is your moment and the viewer, and I come in with the question.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's it. The saddle can be able to adjust it. This is a town bike. So we have two versions of this bike. We have a town bike and we have a mountain bike. So for this town bike, it's ideal for daily town use, where I need to move from point A to point B. And in my locomotion, I'll not encounter a very steep hill. This is ideal. If you're going to work or if you're doing deliveries, this kind of town bike is ideal for you. Then we also have a mountain bike. Mountain bike, it's like your ordinary bike, but the mountain bike can be able to take up very steep hills, up to 15 degrees angle. So that one is ideal if you are living in a mountain region. You can be able to use that mountain bike. So when it comes to cost of an e-bike, the pricing of an e-bike at this initial stage is how can I put it? It's quite high, considering the battery, it's a lithium battery, and the motor. So the entry-level e-bikes that we have at the moment cost 75,000. And the most expensive is the one I'm holding here. It costs 140,000. So the pricing of the e-bike depends on the size of the motor. So if the motor is lowly rated, like 250 watts, that is the one that goes for 75,000. This specific bike, the motor is 500 watts, so it can be able to carry a lot of load and it can be able to go for longer. So the other thing is the payload. The payload is that means the weight it can be able to carry. This one can carry up to 150 kgs.
I like when you say that. Tell you why? Because most of the times when I have cyclists come on set, they have bags.
Yes.
You've seen that?
Yes.
So they have to carry a lot of the stuff in the bags and then cycle with that. So this you can actually now have your load on it.
Yes, it has a carrier. And it can take up a payload of up to 150 kgs.
My goodness, isn't this a new mode of transport that we really ought to take seriously in this country? Let me talk about something that you probably haven't touched on. When we talk to other cyclists, because it feels like we want to embrace cycling, rules and regulations on the roads as far as cycling is concerned. You guys, especially you, now you have gears, you pretty much a car, right? Where do you cycle?
Well, according to our Kenyan legislation, for this bike to be considered a bicycle and not a motorcycle.
And I'm hoping it's legal.
Yes, and not a motorcycle. It's not supposed to have more than 50 cc. By 50 cc, I mean, if it's 50 cc and above, it can be able to do over 50 kilometers per hour. That one will be considered motorized, and you'll need to get a driving license. You'll need to be registered with the NTSA. But if the speed is lower than that, like I have indicated that this one maximum speed is 35 kilometers per hour. This is still an ordinary bike.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, I like that you mentioned that. But now let me hear from you, because it's always part of, the experts to always come in and tell us some of the safety rules and regulations for any cyclist. Let's hear it from you today.
For cyclists, most of the rules is on personal or self-care. You must ensure that before you use the road, the bicycle that you are using is roadworthy. By being roadworthy, it means that the brakes are checked, the tires are okay, the tires are correctly inflated. That is the first thing. The other thing is personal care, is like the helmet. You should not miss that helmet, and a reflector jacket. It's all about your personal care. Because the other thing is that our infrastructure is not dedicated or is not made for cyclists. So when you're sharing the road with the other road users, take personal initiative for your own safety.
Can I challenge, are you guys comfortable with the status quo?
Not at the
because It seems like cyclists are like, no, it's us for ourselves. Mnasema, okay, the infrastructure is not convenient for cyclists, but tutafanyaje? Is that, are you guys giving up on, you know, hoping that things are done right in terms of provision?
There's a lot of campaigns being done at the moment, like the critical mass, to create awareness on road sharing. When you see a two-wheeler, share the road with them.
Okay.
It's a simple rule. When I'm cycling, I don't have any protection around me. Just give me some bit of space. Give me 1.5 meters and pass, we can share the road.
All right.
So the message out there is for other motorists is just share the road with cyclists. We all have families. We all need to go to our hustle, and we also need to go back to our families in the evening or when we are done with our hustle. Just share the road. But our plea is to the national, probably national government, the Kenya, the guys who are responsible for making roads. At the moment, not a lot of focus has been given to cyclists, two-wheelers. So we have to make way. Most of it, we say that we are using force to be on the road. But if we can be part of their grand plan to ensure that cyclists are considered as part of the other road users, we'll greatly appreciate. But also a big shout out to NMS, with the over 150 kilometers dedicated cycling lane. I think we have started somewhere. And yes.
And that right there, this is the Arrival Live. Thank you for watching. You could show us a bit more and the social media handles. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Based at, if you are interested in an e-bike, we are located along Ngong Road, Greenhouse, first floor, suite 12. You can be able to come and see our offices, where you can be able to see the other models of e-bikes that we have. And our social media handle on Twitter, you can find us at eMobility Kenya. On Facebook is Green Mobility Solutions Kenya. On Instagram is Green Mobility Solutions Kenya. And our mobile phone is 0711 66 91 91. We can be able to answer all your queries related to e-bikes. Thank you.
Hi there, my name is George Washuri. I am so happy to see you, and today I am here to enumerate, to explain how we package
(04) 577 577 or visit our website at www.verabeautycollege.com. Vera Beauty and Fashion College, a center of excellence.
Help me identify a beautiful woman. I never came across one till I got to Vera.
Hi there, my name is George Washuri. I am so happy to see you, and today I am here to enumerate, to explain how we package our land investment. We have 5 levels of our property. And we classify these levels as 1 star, 2 stars, 3 star, 4 star, and 5 star. This is what we mean, that if you buy a property that is 1 star with Optiven, one of the things that is evident, the property is cheaper, is below $500,000. And this particular property is basically bare land. We only do subdivision, put the beacons, and then produce titles. The second level, we call it 2 star. This is prime land, whereby we grade the roads, we put a marking fence, do the beacons, and produce titles. The third level, we call it 3 stars. This 3 star is value added plots. We do the malam, we do the water, we do the mesh fence, and there's a caretaker on site. The fourth level is 4 star. 4 star is ready to build development. We do very nice maram roads, we plant the trees, we put the water tower, we also put a caretaker on site, and finally, the 5 star. The 5 star is premier, it's the top level. And this one, we do cable roads, we do water management through underground culverts, we do underground power, we do fountain for water, we do beautiful and nice permanent gates, we do perimeter wall, and also do install the CCTV, and the whole property is manned by uniformed security. Some of these